We'd like to, on behalf of IG Wealth Management, we'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for organising our open house, Business After 5 mixer last Wednesday, the 30th of August, and we had a great turnout. So thank you everyone who came as well. When we held the After 5 mixer, we offered people the option to ask some questions of financial planners, either Deneen or myself. And we have those questions here and thought we'd go through them today. So, shall we start? I don't know, do you want to grab one? Here's one. What kind of GIC rates are you seeing right now?
Okay, well, the Bank of Canada held the prime rate today, so that's good news. We are seeing very attractive GIC rates on the short term. You can get a high interest savings account from anywhere from 4% to 4.85. Cashable GICs are 4.45. And if you lock it up, they are attractive yield at about 5.5% for a guaranteed investment fund.
Shorter rates seem to be better than longer rates at the moment. 1 and 2 years
That's right.
A lot better than the 3 and 4 year rates. So.
That's right.
And the next question, what does wealth management mean to someone who is just starting out? For example, if I have no wealth to manage, what do I do today to have positive impacts on future wealth? So that's a good question. The first thing I would say is you need to educate yourself, and there's lots of ways to do that. We actually sponsor financial literacy, and we offer money and youth books, or we also have an online guide about financial literacy for seniors as well, all the way through. I would say though, if I was just starting out, it all starts with cash flow. So I would review your budget, review your cash flow, and then if you can start to set aside 10% of everything you earn for long term, and probably if you're just starting out, you might want to put it into a tax-free savings account. But if you can read up and learn as much as you can, and then even if you go and get some advice and want to self-direct initially through like Wealthsimple, that's fine until you do start to gathering some wealth. But the best thing is to be disciplined and to pay yourself first, and to always put some money aside out of every paycheck, and 10% is a good rule of thumb. So here's one for you.
What kind of education funds do you offer? What we have individual plans and family plans. Basically, it's a long-term investment plan that we invest into mutual funds according to your risk tolerance. It's usually joint between the two parents, held in trust for the child. The government does match, CRA does match 20% of your contributions all the way up till the child reaches age 17 at the end of that year. It's a great way to save for their future education costs. It's eligible for anything from trades to local post-secondary school. So it is a great way to save for your kids' education funds.
And in BC, we also have the BC Training Education Savings Grant,
Right.
One time $1,200, eligible when the kids are 6, and they have to claim it before they're 9, and they have to have
One of these open.
Yeah, prior to. So, yeah.
And grandparents also can, help contribute to it. It's a great way to take their birthday money, their Christmas money,
Put
and
it to
get
good
them
use.
get them started.
And then the 20% matching is hard to beat in terms of a rate of return.
That's right.
Guaranteed 20%. The next question, how to ensure you have enough money to retire? And we get a lot of questions about this, and we get a question about what's the dollar figure I need. I've heard it's $1 million, and it's a hard question to qualify because everyone's different, and retirement means different things to different people. So you can't just kind of give a blanket number and say this is the number. However, what I would say is if you look at what your spending habits are now, and if you want to maintain that same kind of lifestyle into retirement, start with your budget and what you spend on a monthly basis, and then try to carry that figure over into retirement as your monthly spending, and with maybe some additions or subtractions. People may want to travel more in the early years of retirement. They may have less children at home to have to feed, or their mortgage is paid off. but typically you'll want to maintain that same standard of living. So the best thing to do obviously is to talk to a financial planner that can figure out your old age security and your CPP and your RSPs and your pension, and figure out how much you're going to have and how long it'll last. But if you want to maintain the same standard of living, it starts with your budget and what you're spending now, and then if you want to carry that forward into retirement, that's a good number to have in your head to think, well, that's how much I'm going to need to retire on. Next one.
What is the best investment strategy to offset inflation? Well, right now we know that inflation, it's coming down. They say it's around 3.2, the CPI index, but it still has a lot of ways to bring down in terms of groceries and gas and whatnot. So the best way to offset that, I mean, sure, the fixed income is looking attractive. The guaranteed rates, we haven't seen that in over a decade, where GICs are paying 5%, but it will be short-lived. The best way would be to have dividend-bearing investments, so some equities and some fixed income for short term, but that would be the best way, so that it's growing long term, so that you can actually, your investments will make over inflation.
Yeah, staying ahead of inflation and looking at your after-tax rate of return too. Like,
yeah,
GICs are great, but if it's a non-registered account and now you're paying tax on the interest, your after-tax rate of return isn't often as good as what you think.
Where dividends and capital gains are taxed a lot more efficiently and a lot less.
More in your pocket and less flowing down the Ottawa River. So the last question, do you initiate the conversation with your clients about planned giving, leaving a charity in their will as a beneficiary? I always, and I know you do too, always initiate the estate planning conversation.
Yep.
And it's a very in-depth conversation. We're not lawyers, so we don't give you a will or a power of attorney, but we certainly strongly recommend that you have one. But we do have a lot of information that we can give to people to help them plan for their estate. So there's an estate planning guide, a personal representative guide, beneficiary do's and don'ts. And I'm finding personally that I'm coming across a lot of people that don't necessarily want to leave all their money to their children, or don't have children to leave their money to. So planned and charitable giving comes up often. And we do have a charitable remainder trust that people can donate or put their money in and allocate to whomever they wish, and they can change it from year to year. There's tax benefits, of course, to naming charitable organizations in your will and leaving them to charities in your estate. But we do always have that conversation, and it's an important conversation that people don't like to have typically, but they should.
We bring it up.
We bring it up again and again and again.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
we don't just look after investments. We look after, all of these things, taxes and life insurance and your wills and, tax efficiency of how to pass on your estate. So, that is one of the reasons, if you have any more questions, please feel free to come see Ray or myself. We can customize a plan that is tailored to your needs, your wants, your lifestyle, and get you the answers that are specific and geared to you. So feel free to email us or call us at the office anytime.
or drop in.
Yeah.